next station is called Bumble Bee Hummer. Bumblebees and honeybees are very important to pollination, so this is an introduction on how the bumblebees and the honeybees come together to pollinate the flowers. With populations of bees going down, I thought this would be important for us to get this discussion in with the boys about their importance, how cool they can be. A lot of times they see a bee and they tend to run. We're all used to them being stinging and hurting, that they don't often see what the benefits are to having bees. So this is a great chance for us to introduce some of those ideas. Your supplies for this station include a small craft stick, 2 erasers, a stapler, an index card, and a rubber band are what you need for the Bumble Bee Hummer. And for the pollination pickup, you'll need a small glove, some double-sided tape, and you'll have some pom-poms. I have a couple flower shapes. You can design if there's something else you would like to make as well. We can look at that. We'll probably include a couple flower shapes in there so that you can have some pom-poms on the flower to act as pollen. So we're going to start with the Bumble Bee Hummer first. Your first step is to put the caps on the end of the popsicle stick. You'll have an index card. It can be a little bit bigger than you want it to be, so you can go ahead and have them trim it down a couple of lines so that it fits in between. So it fit like that. Then they're going to bring it up to you to have it stapled onto their popsicle stick. Oops, missed the popsicle stick. So it's now on the popsicle stick. They can go back and decorate it any way that they want. So put on some bees, some flowers, some stripes, so it's one big bee. The last step is to put on the string and the rubber band. Actually, we'll put on the string first. You want to tie the string as close to one of the erasers as possible. Make sure it's good and knotted because they're going to swing this around, so we don't need any flying off. So adults, please assist scouts in making sure their knots are nice and tight. If you have some Boy Scouts or den chiefs in your area, utilize them to kind of come and help. This would be a fun station for them to come help with. Then take your rubber band and you're going to stretch that rubber band between the 2 erasers. And your bee hummer is ready to go. Make sure it's nice and flat and even. Here's where it gets fun. I always tell the boys, make sure you are hanging on with one hand and you are going to swing with the other hand. Oh, that one did not. That one flapped. This one makes more of a flapping sound. They can change the shape and size of their paper. This is one that I cut a little bit earlier. Oop, got my finger stuck in it. So they're going to swing it around. So it makes that humming sound. Again, make sure they get enough space. does take a little bit of swinging to it. So if they don't like the sound of their Hummer, you can change the shape of the card and see how that changes the sound. So I didn't like the shape of, or the sound of that one very much, so I'm going to change it and make it a little bit smaller. And go back and try it again. And there, I like that sound just a little bit better. When their arms get tired and they're done with their bee hummer, you can go on to the next part of the station, which is learning how bees pick up pollen. So for this, they're going to put on a small little glove. And we have some extra small gloves, so it should be pretty close for most of them. And just one. Here's their little bee legs. They're ready to go. Have an adult help them. Put some double stick tape, just a small piece, on each finger. And you can talk to them about how the bee legs have little spikes on them, or little prickers on them that actually pick up pollen and take it from one flower to the next. Then they can go on a little walk across the flower, and it picks up some of the pom-poms, and they can go visit another flower, and they will actually gain and lose some pom-poms at each one. So you can talk to them about how that is how the bee actually works. He picks up pollen from one flower on those legs. As he visits the next flower, some of the pollen gets off of the legs, and bees typically stay within a flower set. So if you have a field of sunflowers, for example, the bees will simply travel from sunflower to sunflower, guaranteeing that those flowers are pollinated. When they are all done, or when you are all done, you can just peel the pom-poms right off. And some of them will ask if they can keep their glove, and that's fine. They can keep their glove. Just tell them they can't stick it to their friends. So if they're going to be picking up stuff with their glove, to make sure that then they're not getting it onto somebody else. And it'll get full of dirt and stop sticking after a while. So, but they like to wear their little gloves, and that's fine. The double stick tape will come off. So if they want to keep their glove, but you don't want them to run around with it being sticky, just go ahead and peel off the double stick tape right off the glove, and then they just have their glove that they can keep for the day.